Okay, got a quick story for you. And then I'm going into something different. See this thing right here? Remember that thing on my face? Well, it has its own life form. It had its own life form, if you will, Happy. His bags are packed. He's at the airport. Send him home. Send him home, Happy. So, first story. Because I mean, I'm sure you want to know about this. Highly scientific data has been acquired from this thing. It's never coming back, by the way. I'm going to tell you about that. Because I know you, I know you want to know, and I don't want to deny you what you need to know. The other day, I was out. I think I had little Ian on my lap on the little electric trike. It's a what's it? Recumbent bike, trike, electric motor in the back. You know, I added the parts to it. I always talk about it. And going a little cruising in a little neighborhood, and I'm like, "Where's Protector Hawk?" Matter of fact, I haven't even seen the owl. Where the hell's the owl at? And Protector Hawk's been gone for a while. If you remember my story, that I saw the Protector Hawk battling the owl, and the significance of that spiritually. And I'm like, man, this is crazy. And the owl flew into my car, right into the side of the door, full speed ahead. So I'm like, man, it's been a while since we've seen Protector Hawk. So today I just went for a walk with him in his stroller in the neighborhood. And neighborhood may be an understatement or overstatement, actually. Everyone has a few acres out here, so they don't have very many neighbors, but little dead end road, but still a neighborhood. So I go down towards the dead end, turn around to walk the longer length, and then back. And as I'm going down towards the dead end, I'm like, Ian, where's Protector Hawk? We have not seen Protector Hawk. We need to call him in. I say him, it could be a her. We got to call in Protector Hawk. We haven't seen him in a while. I wonder what they're doing. Wonder where they've been. As a matter of fact, we haven't even seen the owl. So turn around, start heading back past my house. Right around, very close to where the owl flew into my car. 50 feet away at best. And it's dusk. Like, you see how it is in the background right now? It was more lighter out than this, just a little bit. But I could easily see, no need for lights or anything. And I'm going down the road, and walking with the stroller, just me and Ian, just us two. And, he's just doing his little thing, quiet, looking around like he does at stuff. He loves it. And I'm like looking down the street. I'm in the straightaway of the street. I'm like, where the street is straight. And I'm like, what the hell is that? Almost like a boomerang was flying at me. Like, what the and this thing is just gliding. No wings flapping. Oh my God, it's a bird. It's a large bird. It's like 5 feet, 6 feet off the ground. Just straight line coming right at us. And then I'm like, oh my God, is that the owl or is that the hawk? I don't know. And then it just, last minute, it kind of, it's coming at us. It just dives down just a little bit. And then goes up maybe 10 feet up into this tree on a little branch. And I'm like, it's so close to me, I couldn't throw a rock. I could toss a rock. Bloop, and just hit it. Like, flick it up. Oh, there he is. Nailed him. That just to give you an idea of how close it was. Not throw a rock, just barely toss one. Oh, just hit it. And he's staring right at me. And I'm staring back at him. Oh my God, it's Protector Hawk. We were just thinking about you, asking where you were. Comes flying at me, straight ahead, down the street, just hovering over the street. Which is odd. I've never seen any of these birds, as a matter of fact, around here, just hover 5-6 feet off the ground. And for a straight line. It was coming from probably 200-300 feet away, just cruising, gliding. And I'm like, what the hell? What the hell is that? What is that? Oh my God, it's a bird. It's a big bird. And then whoosh. Oh my God, is that Protector Hawk or the owl? It's Protector Hawk. He's like, somebody call my name? Yeah, we did. Thanks, Protector Hawk. So I'm like, Ian, did you see him? See the bird? You see the hawk? I'm trying to point. Of course, Ian doesn't know what to do. He doesn't know how to look at what I'm pointing at. And then it flew off again, down like a big U shape on the ground, like just above the ground, and then up to a higher branch. And I think Ian saw him fly off, and I'm like, oh, cool. Pretty awesome, man. So got down to the end of the street, turned back around, and was thinking about this other spiritual experience I had on the mountain that I've never been public about yet, at the site, the dig site. And it was at the time it was scary. It was very scary. And I ran out of there fast with my wife. And then the second time I went right back up within minutes, I was back up there because I'm like, I'm going to get a scan of this ground. I want to see if there's a damn opening down there in the ground, like a void. I have to go back up there. I've got my gun in my pocket. Like, not that that's going to do anything, but here's a walkie-talkie. Evelyn, you stay in the Jeep. I'll be right back. I have to get this scan. There's no way I'm leaving here without it. I go back up there. It's there again. Scared the crap out of me, and I said, I don't know what to do. I'm not going to get a scan because if I'm disrespecting something right now, that's the last thing I want to do, and I'm not sure what it's trying to tell me. Don't do that here or something else. Long story short, it was a positive event. I talked to 2 Indian people and the crystal that gave me the dreams with very powerful answers. It told me the answer, what that was about, and then I was like, oh wow, I'm honored that happened to me. So I was thinking about that as I was walking down the street, wondering if that entity was with me, and just giving a little thanks to my spirit guides, all these people they've put into my life, helping me become something completely different than I've been, waking me up massively spiritually and some psychic ability too. Dreams. Speaking of dreams, I'll mention this. It's the right time. I'll save the best thing for last right here. But the other day, I'm like, it's been a number of days, easily a week or more. I haven't really had like a dream where a spirit came in and gave me a dream about something. And I'm like, well, I still listen to the music. I'm still doing the thing, Am I doing something wrong? Like, did I fall off the train, fall off the path? Or are they just giving me a break right now? Or like, okay, you've already done that, so we're just going to move you on to some other things like this meditation, so they don't need to be bothered by that now? Like, okay, you've already passed that, move on? I'm like, I don't know. So I said, as I slept, I said, spirit guides, can you give me a dream tonight if you're still able to do that right now? Because I'm not sure if it's an issue with me and I need to get back on the path or something, or if it's just maybe you're giving me a little break or something. I said, but can you give me a dream tonight? Let me know. Nope, everything's good, Boom, get a dream. And the funny thing is, I give you a quick backstory. I think you'll find this interesting. So this RV that I got, which is, you probably can't really see this, somewhere back there. And I need to get a little work done to it. I know I'd had to when I got it. And I've got half the stuff done to it. I went to get some tires and ordered. They came down. I had them put on recently. So I'm now ready to bring it back and have them do the suspension airbags on this thing that they've already got sitting there waiting on me. And a few other small things. And so I'm bringing it there tomorrow, as a matter of fact. However, like last week, I was ready to bring it. So I'm like calling, no answer. Leave a message, no answer. I do have the text of the guy. Text, no answer. Getting a little nervous. Like, there's a bunch of parts sitting down there that I've already paid for. And the labor, as a matter of fact. For most of what's sitting down there. Like, do I need to, just freaking go down there in my car, get the parts, and be like, I'll just take it somewhere else? Or, no, I got that feeling. No, just give it a minute. Don't give it a few days. Don't worry about it. And then a couple days later, he calls me. Hey, Joe, yeah, look, we're working on 3 of these, the big RVs, 3 of them now. We're about to clear them out by the end of the week. How's next week sound? You want to bring it next week? I'm like, yeah, all right. Any day in particular? He says, how about Tuesday? All right, sounds good. I'll see you Tuesday. And great. Yeah, no problem. We'll get right on it. Okay, cool. So, yeah, work fine. But I was a little nervous, before that, like, oh, man. Why isn't he responding? I've already paid, to come back and have him do stuff. I was getting a little nervous. So in this dream, I'm at some RV repair shop. Not this one, but some shop. And there's 2 employees in there. I walk up, hey, I'm here with my RV to get it fixed again, And they're like, God, we're a little nervous. Like, our boss hasn't been here in a while. We don't even have cups to drink for water. Like, our cups are gone. 2 employees are no longer here. I'm like, oh, man. I'm like, all right. But, you guys can work on it. But like, well, yeah. We don't know where our boss is, but yeah, we can work on it. I'm like, all right. Well, I go in the RV. Oh, well, I got 5 plastic, throwaway cups, party cups. I say, hey, guys, here, take these. Here's some cups for you guys to have water. Oh, thanks, man. So I'm like, okay. So I'm back out in the parking lot, and there's also a little food store there, like a pizza place. And this guy comes out with a pizza. Very nice looking pizza, by the way. And it even had meatballs, almost like it was a made pizza. It looked beautiful, like a New York style pizza. It was already made. But on the side, they had these beautiful big meatballs and sauce. Oh, wow, you can put these meatballs, do it yourself on your own pizza. That's nice looking, man. And I'm looking at this guy, this older man, who's got this pizza. And his wife's in the car waiting for him in the parking lot, and I see him walking through, and I'm like, I know this guy. I've seen him. That's the guy from, what movie was he in? He was in some kind of UFO movie. And I'm like, yeah, I don't know his name. What is his name? And after I woke up from the dream, I realized his name, so I'll just tell you now. In the dream, I'm like, I know who you are, but... And he's like looking at me like, yeah, it's me, yeah, it's me. And I think the movie was called Explorers or The Explorers. It was in the 1980s, and these kids make this one of the kids is like a real genius. He makes this force field ball, and he can make it big or small. So they get this carnival ride, and they put the force field around it, and then they just are inside of it with like a battery operating his laptop or whatever that's operating the force field, and they can make this thing zoom to outer space. And then they meet these two aliens. It was a cute movie. If you haven't seen it, I'd say go watch it. It's kind of cool. The Explorers, I believe, 1980s. So he's, I think, a sheriff or an investigator or a detective or something, and he sees something fishy going on with these kids, and so he sneaks in their backyard and picks up the tarp and sees this carnival ride. And he's like, "What the hell is this thing?" But he's got his eye on them. He's watching them, and I think he sees them fly off one time. I was like, "Oh, I think it's that guy." And I'm like, okay. So, anyways, back to the dream. I recognize him. I don't know who he is yet until I wake up again. I think, oh, that's the guy. But his role is about this UFO thing in this movie. He's spying on these kids to see what they're doing. So back to my dream. I'm now in this parking lot. I see him. I recognize him. I'm there with JC and Dave. Now, I'll tell you, JC and Dave are not always in my dreams. As a matter of fact, not that often at all. Been just a few small handful, 2 or 3 times. And they're there with me. And we're just chatting in the parking lot, kind of around the same time, like before we see this guy coming out with his pizza, we just see it's like kind of like now where it's dusk or almost maybe a little bit brighter, and we just see an immense light coming from the sky, so like in the clouds, like it just catches your eye. You're like, what is? And it's this big like B-52 stealth bomber, like the new technology, with 4 thrusters on it, but the thrusters on this one are not exactly like the kind you see like on a F-18 or F-16 when they fire up. It's like a nice flame, a nice, torch-looking flame. This was more like a fiery, where it had basically called a campfire, if you will, but a big one out of all 4 engines. And that thing was just zooming, like lighting up the sky. And we're like, whoa, what is that? Check that out. Whoa. And then it shapeshifts into this ring. That's like a donut. You could put your hand through it. Huge, big, and just like within 2 seconds or less, it was already shifted. And now it's like doing other maneuvers, and it's like, it's not that high up in the sky, and it's not night, so it's not like you just see a light. Oh, look, there's a light blinking on and off. No, we can see the aircraft, the shape, the size, like, whoa, awesome. Now it's coming over towards us. It shifts into like this big square rectangle, tall cylinder, not cylinder, but I'm not going to say skyscraper because a skyscraper is way too big, but kind of like that shape. But way smaller. Maybe a 2-story skyscraper, if you will. Maybe 3 stories at max. And it wasn't real big. Like, I would say, if you look at my house right here, these 2 doors to the refrigerator, to that door, like, it's probably about that wide, okay? And about 2 or 3 stories high. And he's coming down right in the parking lot. Like, we're like, whoa, he's giving us whatever this is, they're giving us a demonstration. So we're like, whoa, and there were several empty parking spaces between cars. And like maybe 4 spaces. And he sets that thing down in front of them and then starts backing in right between them, like he's parking a car, And I'm like, oh my God, there's like not even inches of space between the left and right of this thing and the back. And this thing's huge. How the hell is he able to pull this off? It's like he's got mirrors, but he puts it in there, and then I felt like he just wanted to show off a little bit. And bumped the cars on the back, like that he'd been backing into, just bumped them so slightly, it would have never left a mark or scratch or nothing, but you saw him just do a little bump, almost as to say, yeah, you saw me make it, but guess what? This is for you guys. I'll bump it just to make you think that we couldn't do it, And then I look up and I'm like, wow, he has a helmet, like a Navy type helmet, if you will. I'm thinking, oh, Navy or Space Force, huh? But I recognize, well, this guy's got a helmet. So is it ours? And then he just fires up those thrusters, and we feel the boost and the heat. And he just darts off, shape-shifting into some other shape so fast. Like, I can only tell you, estimating thousands and thousands of miles per hour would be my guess of how fast. Because I could see it zoom off, But like count to 2, maybe not even 3 seconds, and it was already out of sight and gone. So that's pretty fast, but not fast enough that you can't see it. And we're just like, so I'm like, I walk up to the guy now, and I'm like, dude, I know who you are. And I'm thinking, I know why you're here. You weren't here to just get a pizza, dude. You knew, like, you knew, because you're that guy, the UFO guy on the movie. And he's like looking at me like, you know, almost with the face of like, maybe, you know, anyone looking around, maybe. So I'm like, please let me talk to you. Please let me talk to you. I just got to ask about this. Please, just forget those other 2 guys. Just me. Just me. He's like, all right. So we start going over there, and then I think we just walked over to JC and Dave, opened the pizza box, and he's showing us the pizza all of a sudden. And his wife's waiting for him. And then I just wake up, so I never got to hear what he had to say. But I was like, whoa, cool dream. And that was it. So today, this was 2 days ago, I believe 2 days ago. So today, I go to the Dick Algar's website, the team, not their Patreon, but they have a dedicated site where they do their remote viewing stuff. It's just like Patreon, and I get charged whatever per month, but it doesn't update me with emails. Hey, there's a new post. So I periodically go in there. So I'm like, oh yeah, they probably already did the remote viewing for October, and let me see what they got to say. You know what they see coming. So I quickly went on all the remote viewers who did that tasking, and read what they had to say. And there was one section there, and it might have been Daz, where it could have been Dick, I don't know, it was one of them, where they said, oh, get ready for a major UFO sighting, pictures, video, and not just the lights, like a light flashing. This is going to be like, whoa. So I read that this morning and go, thanks for the dream a couple days ago, Spirit. Now, granted, they released this information already a few days ago. I just didn't get to the site yet and read it because I just don't have anything telling me, hey, we did a new post, come look, or else I would have been there on day 1. So I've just remembered every month, oh, go check for updates over there. So to be fair, I didn't know that they said what they said. And I'm like, well, that's interesting. So I thought to myself, God help me, or any of us, if tomorrow's Tuesday, it's my RV day to bring it back. And part of the dream was me bringing my RV back to the repair shop, just a different looking shop, and concerned that, is this place going to be around? Well, they said they can fix it, you know. And in real life, I was concerned, is this place going to be around? Did they take my money and run? So I'm just trying to put 2 and 2 together and decipher this dream. And I'm thinking, God help me and you, because this would be awesome. If on Tuesday or thereabouts, maybe this week, whatever, soon, real soon, oh my God, breaking news, YouTube, whatever, Twitter, Facebook, look at this footage they caught. We've never seen this great a footage of a UFO. Look at this thing, look at the underbelly, blah, 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 whatever it is. And it's not just a little thing way off in the sky that you can barely see. And that spirit was saying, oh, yeah, Joe, we can still talk to you. Yeah, we got you. We haven't given you dreams, because you know what? You have moved on to some interesting things. You're doing meditations now. We don't want to bother you with a million different things. You need to brush your brain and your body and your soul. But since you asked, we'll give you a dream to let you know, yeah, you're still connected. And I'm thinking, prophetic dream? Or just dream to say hello? It could have just been a dream to say hello, because that's all I asked for. Just let me know. And they gave me that. Now, and then I read the remote viewing today. Oh, there's going to be a video of an incredible UFO capturing on video. Like the not capturing it, but as in like we stole it and locked it up. I mean capturing it on film. And it'll be a really good video apparently. So I thought, wow. So now onto this thing. I've had this damn thing, as I told you, maybe before my kids were born. And I thought, well, I've got this damn ingrown thing, hair in there, and I've been nicking it, of course, because it's a bump, so I would nick it with the razor, and it's just scar tissue now, and that's the end of it. And I'm messing with it the other day, and I'm like, it just feels like if I push, like, it just feels like there's a hair in there, man. I'm like, you know what, I've had it, I'm just going to F it. So I started scratching it, and of course it bleeds, and pick it more, it's bleeding, okay. Looking at it in the mirror, what the hell? I don't see a damn hair. And I've dug in there pretty good, so I'm like, what the hell? I still feel something, like it's right there. But there's nothing there. So, as you saw, days would go by, I'm messing with the thing, oh, look, it's scabbed up now, still no success. So I'm like, all right, whatever. And then I'm like, no, go back in the bathroom. That's it. I can feel the little pointy thing. That hair just must be deep. Again, I've nicked it. It's scar tissue. I'm going for it. I grab the sharp tweezers, and I'm, picking, and I'm moving some skin. Again, I know you want to know about this for scientific purposes, so I'm going to share this with you. And I'm trying to push and grab, and of course now it's bloody or whatever, so it's just like slimy, and all I'm trying to, and it's like, okay, I can't grab it. I can't grab anything, but I can kind of feel that little bump in there. So I'm like, okay, I've removed all the skin. There's a bump there, man. And I'm looking in the mirror, I'm like, it doesn't look like scar, but it's got its own life force, if you will, Happy. And like its own protective little shield. I'm like, what the hell? So I'm like, all right, I grab the tweezers, and I just start scraping on the real sharp point. I'm just like, let me get in there, just scrape it instead of try to grasp it. And I feel, okay, I can feel I'm hitting that spot. Okay. And then I hear it go, and I see what looks like a white worm come right out. Of course, it's not white worm, it's white zit pus stuff. Like, I thought I was on an episode of Dr. Pimple Popper. And I'm like, oh my God. Holy crap, that's kind of a lot. So I'm, go, and then more comes. Whoa! Jiminy Christmas! Wipe that on the tissue. More. Okay, one last little piece. Yep, got it. And then nothing but blood. One more time, nothing but blood. Third time, nothing but blood. Okay. And then even the blood pretty much stopped. And I'm like, oh my God, it's flat. It's flat. So what is that, a boil? I don't take it as a zit. It had a hard, like, again, it had its own freaking ecosystem. Had its own ecosystem. And I just wrecked it. So, anyways, I'm going to upload this video. I know you want to know about that. Maybe you have one too. And you think it's an ingrown hair, and it's not. It's a life force draining your life force. Take care.